Hello, everybody. My name is Anish Gupta, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast, bringing you the cold hard truth on everything football. And man, it has been a while. I know with all the AP tests, high school graduation, I've been busy, but I'm back. I'm ready to go. It has been a while, but in the midst of the offseason and fresh off a Julio Jones trade, I thought for today's tier list Thursday, we'd go over some NFL wide receivers. Now, stay tuned. I got some more content coming for y'all. I'm back. As I've said, I'm ready to go. And Eagles fans, you guys especially, stay tuned. Be patient because I've got some content that I know you guys will love. So that's on the way. But if videos like these interest you, please consider liking and subscribing down below. It only takes a couple seconds of your time and we'd really appreciate it. And while you're down there, feel free to hit the post notification bell so you won't miss out on football content like this. So without further ado, here is my tier list for the NFL wide receivers. So as you guys can see here, this is kind of the tier list, the tier types. We've got elite, we've got borderline elite, top 10, great, good, average, below average. And I wanted to put a too early to tell kind of list just because there are going to be some receivers that are just too young and I just really don't know. So we're going to start it off here with John Brown. John Brown is a really interesting one because he's had his flashes. I'm going to put him in good though, because he's had his flashes where in 2019, he was very, very productive. Even towards the end of the year, I think he was pretty good. I'd say he's in that, top 25, 30 range. I might move these receivers around, but I'm going to start him off in good. Now, Jacoby Myers, I'm going to put an average. Obviously, he had some flashes with the Patriots this year. We even saw him throw a touchdown pass to Cam Newton at the end of the year. But again, there's nothing about his game that really stands out to me. I think he's a good receiver, but just hasn't done that production or had those flashes enough for me to say, oh, he can be, he's got a lot of potential, or he can be the, true bona fide number one receiver for the Pats. That's why they kind of went out and got other guys like Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. So that receiving core is very, very iffy right now. And I just don't know if Jacoby Myers is the guy. That's why I'm going to put him in average. Now, this guy right here, Stephon Diggs. It's obviously between these two, but I was thinking of my elite to be my top 5, and he is right. He's hovering there, but I'm going to put him in elite just because I think he's 5th. I might have 5 or 6 guys up there, even though it's supposed to be top 5. But again, I mean, his route running is just incredible. He's probably the second best route runner in football. I think Devonte Adams is 1, but he's 2. And again, with Josh Allen, he really, really stepped up his game. Led the league in receiving yards and was just a great 3-level wide receiver. So that is a true bona fide wide receiver 1, an elite receiver at that, can run really fast, can catch any ball, can go up and get it. And yeah, he's going in that elite category. Now, Cole Beasley, if you guys hear the podcast, you know how much I love him. I feel like it's a crime to put him in the same tier as John Brown. I'm going to put him in great because he did make an all-pro team this year. He was great for when the Bills needed him to be. Very good on third down. He's always been just a go-getter, a reliable guy. I believe he played on a broken leg too. Just a great receiver that I love. So yeah, I'm going to put him in there. That's a little bit biased, I know. I honestly don't know what this great tier is. I feel like it's like this top 17 to like 25. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm going to put him in great. And that actually might make me move John Brown to average, but I'm going to keep him in good for now. So next is Devontae Parker, another guy. If you guys have watched the pod for a while, Devontae Parker is a guy that I love. I think he is just a great receiver, especially, on those deep balls. He can get a 50-50. And that 2019 season was just so amazing. I rewatched his highlights. It was just incredible to see how much he could progress and how much talent he had. 2020, he kind of regressed a little bit. I think it was just a combination of, different quarterbacks, Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick, just didn't really get the chemistry going. So I'm still going to put him in great because I thought he had a top 10 receiving year in 2019. I think he can still get to that form if, the Dolphins essentially put more faith in Tua. And if Tua just honestly trusts him, I think Devontae Parker is that dude. Next, we're going to go with Preston Williams. I'm going to put him in average because again, like I said, similar thing, flashes of showing good, but he's just honestly not on the field enough and also just not consistent. He's a good receiver. I love him in the red zone, actually. He's one of the best route runners I've seen in the red zone. I actually watched some of his film. He's actually one person that I look to and model on how to run a slant route at the goal line. Interesting fact. But yeah, I think he runs a beautiful slant route in the red zone. I know. Weird fact about Preston Williams, but he's a great supporting receiver to Devontae Parker. Again, just doesn't get the same opportunities, and also got to be on the field more, bro. So we're putting him in average. Now, I don't know why Julian Edelman is on here, but he is retired. I don't know what to do with that. I mean, I'm not going to spark any Hall of Fame debates. I'm not going to say my take on it because I honestly don't know. I think his time will kind of come, 5 years down the road, but I'm going to put him in great just because I got to show some respect to him. That's always what he's been. He's been a great receiver. Obviously, he shines in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going to put him in great. Obviously, he retired now. Who knows? Maybe he comes back and plays with Tom Brady. That was a take on our hot takes episode, if you guys didn't watch that. But yeah, so that's where I'm going to put Julian Edelman. Chase Claypool is next on our list. Chase Claypool is really interesting because I can put him in too early to tell, right? I can put him in great. I'm not going to put him in borderline elite, but I think I'm going to put him in great just because we saw what he could do for a long period of time. And that 8 to 10 week stretch where he had 10 touchdowns up until that point. I mean, I was really thinking he was going to be the best receiver out of this draft class. Like, he showed so much promise in this rookie year. And to get, all those deep balls, to, take a quick route and take it the distance, that's how talented this dude is. He's 6'3", a big bodied guy from Notre Dame. And I love his game. As much as I hate him being on the Steelers, as much as I hate him trash talking the Browns, I can't do anything because he's good. He's talented. And all 3 times we played him, he showed out. So I'm going to put him in great. Like, he's got top 15, maybe even top 10 ability. So yeah, I'm going to put him in great. Brandon Cooks, I'm going to put in good just because I don't think he's at that great level anymore. I mean, he's had, a few 1,000-yard seasons with the Saints, the Patriots. I believe he had 1,000 yards that year. And of course the Rams. But the Texans, when he played, again, the first stretch of the year wasn't really that good. Towards the end, he really picked it up when Will Fuller got suspended. But yeah, just for Brandon Cooks, again, he's shown flashes of being great. But I'm going to put him in good just because I think he needs a little bit more consistency. And that last year with the Rams, I really was not a fan of what he should have done more on that last year with the Rams. So I'm going to put him in good. Will Fuller, I love Will Fuller. I really want to put him in great because I think Chase Claypool is there. So I'm going to put him there. It's a little bit biased to me, but Will Fuller is spectacular. I think he's super fast. He's got game-changing speed, and just stay on the field because there were times in 2019 where he actually outperformed DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm going to put him in great. I think he's got mad potential. T.Y. Hilton. I can't do it. So I got to put him here. I got to put him in good. T.Y. Hilton is, he led the league in receiving yards one year. He's always been kind of old, reliable. He actually showed some flashes towards the end of the year with Phillip Rivers. That final 5-game stretch, he had a couple 100-yard games, a couple touchdowns. So we're going to put him in good because I still think he can, help this Colts offense. And I still think he can be a viable weapon with Carson Wentz. So Michael Pittman, that is where we go too early to tell. Because we just really haven't seen enough of Michael Pittman, in my opinion. He had, again, flashes. I feel like all these receivers are having flashes, but yeah, I think he's had his moments. That wildcard game was definitely something to build on. And I always say this, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. So he played really well against the Bills, but it's just too early to tell. Is he in good? Is he in great? Is he in average? I just don't really know. So I'm going to put him in too early to tell, but I'm hoping for a breakout year with him and Carson Wentz. So that's what I'm hoping for. DJ Chark, good, great. I'm going to put him in good just because last year he really didn't perform as well as I would have liked. He's had 1,000 yards before, and I think he's been a good receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if he's a bona fide number 1, but I'd really like to see him be a number 2 wide receiver next to a superstar or a really, good wide receiver, because I think that's where he would flourish. But yeah, that's where I'm going to put DJ Chark. Again, flashes of being great, just not enough, in my opinion, to put him there. So I'm going to put him in good. Laviska Shenault, that's going too early to tell as well. just hasn't gotten enough time. I mean, he had a couple spark plays. I remember one against the Vikings. He caught like off someone's helmet. He's also really versatile, so you can use him in the run game. But yeah, it's just too early to tell on how good he is. Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is going here. I'm not putting him in great, and I know people might be mad, but I think he is a top 15 receiver. I think he's borderline top 10. I love Adam Thielen's game. I think so. The borderline elite is also borderline top 10. I think I'm gonna put him in there just because I love his game. I think he's one of the best route runners. I think he's, again, a 3-level wide receiver. He was also really good in the red zone. This man had 14 touchdowns in 14 and a half games. People need to realize that. Adam Thielen is a number 1 wide receiver, and he helped Justin Jefferson so much. And this is a hot take. I think as of right now, Thielen is better than Justin Jefferson, but over time, this year, in fact, Justin Jefferson will pass him as a better receiver. But I think Thielen is just that good to where he's helped Justin Jefferson kind of grow. So as of right now, I think he's better overall, route running, 3-level wide receiver, right? To get the break off the ball. Obviously in the red zone, I think he's better, but I think Jefferson will pass him. But yeah, he's going in borderline elite, borderline top 10. AJ Brown, the recruiter himself, is going in the top 10. He is a for sure top 10 receiver in my opinion. I got him at 9, I believe, in my rankings. It's on Instagram, so go check that out. But yeah, he's, again, one of the best receivers after the catch. I feel like I'm going too long with these receivers, but yeah, he's a great receiver outside of the catch. Corey Davis, oh man, good average. I'm gonna put him in average just because he's had his ups, he's had his downs. I feel like he's just average guy, not much else to say. With Jerry Judy, I'm gonna go with probably good or too early to tell. I'm leaning good just because we saw, how good his route running is. Those drops, he's got to pick it up. But like, he's got mad potential. And I think in a Broncos offense, give him a better consistent quarterback and he's going to really shine. Jameson Crowder, I believe. No, this is Brashad Perryman. Brashad Perryman is average because he, again, has had many ups. He's also had many downs. Just not enough to kind of go off of for Brashad Perryman to put him in good. Let's see how he does with the Lions, but yeah, he's going to stay in average. This guy right here, Tyree Kill, he's going in elite. He's one of the most game-changing receivers I've ever seen. Like, this dude's speed is just incredible. I mean, and he can run any route. He can, again, he's so versatile. It's the cheetah. He's definitely top 5. I think he's 4th on my list. I love his game, and he's definitely made it easy for Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to say he made him, but he's definitely been a great receiver to have. So Tyreek Hill is going in elite. Sammy Watkins is, I think, in my opinion, average as well. Like, week one Sammy Watkins goes here, but for the rest of the season, it's kind of average. Nothing too spectacular with him. I mean, he was supposed to be an insane receiver coming out of Clemson, but I don't know, just nothing really worked out with Buffalo, and then I think he had a stint with the Rams and the Chiefs. Just really not much going on. So let's see what he does with Baltimore, but he's going in average. This guy right here, Keenan Allen, top 8. He's going in that borderline elite category. One of the best route runners I've seen. He's a great wide receiver 1, has been consistent despite all the injuries. He is insane. He's got some of the best hands as well, can run any route. So quick after the catch. I love Keenan Allen, and he also went to the best school. Go Bears. So Mike Williams is going to go in average. I think, yeah, he's going to go in average because he hasn't shown me like he can be more than like a wide receiver 2. He just hasn't been consistent either. But he's one of the best jump ball receivers in the game. Like, if it's going up to him, I'm honestly, like, he's one of those guys that I trust most with a 50-50 ball, 40 plus yards. He's that good, at getting it. I think he played basketball. He's like 6'5", so that's where we're going to put him. We're going to put him in average. Henry Ruggs, too early to tell. It's just, he had his rookie year. It was just first receiver taken off the board. Had some flashes with the speed, but never really picked it up. I don't think he's going to be that number 1 receiver for the Raiders. But it's just too early to tell. I mean, I could be really wrong. I believe this is Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar is going to go in average. I'm being a little bit nice with all these guys, but yeah, I think Nelson Aguilar just, he's had his ups again with the Eagles, and he's kind of had his downs with the Eagles as well. With the Raiders, he actually had a pretty good year. So, I could put him in good, but just those downs with the Eagles, especially with the drops, hard to overcome. Let's see what he does in Foxborough, but yeah, he's going in average. Amari Cooper is going in that borderline elite top 10. A lot of people have him in his top 10. I don't know. For me, I have him just outside. Again, he's a great route runner. All these receivers, honestly, they're just so similar with how good they can do. He's so great at breaking off the line of scrimmage. And again, after the catch, he's also really incredible. He's been a great help for Dak Prescott. But, him in road games, I don't know why, it just didn't show up, even in 2020, but mostly in 2019. It was just kind of night and day. But yeah, words can't express how talented this guy is. So we're going to put him in that borderline elite top 10. Michael Gallup is going to go in good because he's had 1,000 yards before. Again, a great deep ball wide receiver. He actually worked really well with Andy Dalton. I was really surprised about that. So let's see what he can do in this wide receiver trio. Obviously, I think, he's kind of expressed that he wants to be in a bigger role, maybe with another team. But as of right now, that's what they're going in with Dallas, and I'm going to put him in that good category. CeeDee Lamb, I want to put him here with Jerry Judy, but I could also put him in too early to tell because he could be up here, right? So I'm going to put him in too early to tell, I think, just because I don't want to put him here because he has the potential. I've seen people put him top 3 in these, 2020 wide receiver rankings. So it's just too early to tell for me in a good way though. He could be up here. He's not anywhere below here. He's going to be, good, great to even borderline top 10, depending on how well he does. But yeah, too early to tell for me because I just don't know how good he can be. Golden Tate, this is the first guy we're going below average. Just as of right now, he's not impressed me in a while. And he's just not been the answer for any team, whether it's been the Giants. I believe he had a stint with the Eagles. So we're putting him below average for that. Hollywood Brown. I believe this is Hollywood Brown. I don't know. I'm feeling average. Yeah, not too early to tell. I'm feeling average. He's not a consistent wide receiver one because he'll get you those insane games, but then he'll also just completely shy away and have insane drops. So average is the way to go for him. Sterling Shepard, another guy that I just really like, and I hate doing this, but I'm gonna put him in average here because he's had flashes. I'm too, I love Sterling Shepard too much to put him in below average because I don't know. I feel like, he's been a wide receiver 2. He can't be a wide receiver 1. So that's why I'm putting him in average, not below average. I believe this is Jalen Rhaegar. For now, I'm going to put him below average. I know I could put him in too early to tell, but I mean, just the things I saw, I feel like just wasn't enough for me to say, oh, he's, gonna be a great, or he's gonna be the Eagles' number 1 receiver, or him and Jalen Hurts are gonna have a great connection. I just didn't see that, and that's why they went out and got another receiver, back-to-back first round. So I'm gonna put him in below average. Travis Fulgum, I think Fulgum is better than Rhaegar, so I'm putting him in average. I think, he should be the receiver 2 next year. I'm trying to save it for Eagles fans because there's a video coming out that I don't want to spoil. But yeah, I'm going to put him in average just because I think he had his flash, and I think for his size and his ability, he's very, very talented. Shawn Jeffrey, as much as this sucks, is going to go in below average. Shawn Jeffrey has not been productive in a while. This isn't 2013 Shawn Jeffrey. That would be in, the borderline top 10, but it's 2021, just hasn't produced, hasn't been consistent. We're putting him below average. Now, my Ohio State guy, the Buckeye himself, he's going in that borderline elite top 10. Terry McLaurin, right out the gate, he was drafted 3rd round. He really carried that mantle for the 2019, the Redskins, and then 2020, Washington. He was amazing for them. And, there have been comparisons with him and DK, although I don't think those comparisons are really valid just because of how hard it is to compare those two. But yeah, he's borderline elite, top 10. I mean, if you put him in your top 10, I wouldn't be mad, but I think he's like top 12, 13. So that's where I put him. I think this is Steven Sims or Cam Sims, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually not sure. But either of those two is going in below average. So that's where they're going. Allen Robinson. is going in that top 10. He is my 10th best receiver. I believe that's where I had him. He is special. I've always loved Allen Robinson back to the Jaguars days in 2015. I love that guy. I think he's, again, people mention how good his hands are, especially on contested balls. He's incredible. He'll always go up and get it, whether it be 20 yards, 40 yards, or even a slant on fourth down. He'll get it for you. He's a true wide receiver one, and I'm so glad he's getting the credit that he deserves. This is Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller is going in below average. He's not that good, and he's also been a locker room problem. So Bears fans, I feel your pain with Anthony Miller. I feel like he's a trade piece. So that's all I got to say on him. Kenny Gallaudet is a borderline elite top 10. I feel like there's a lot of guys that I'm putting in this category, but he is spectacular. We've talked about him a lot, especially after he joined the New York Giants. But yeah, led the league in touchdowns in 2019, and he's going to get that 50-50 ball, and he is a wide receiver one. Confirmed. So Danny Dimes, please make me look good, and please succeed with Kenny Gallaudet. Marvin Jones is going to go in good because there's always that one week where Marvin Jones just goes off, and we're always like, oh, can he finally break out? And it's just like, not really, but he always has his flashes every year, so he's going in good. If there was a trash tier, this is where Willie Sneed would go, just because of what he said to the Browns and how hurt I was because I loved him in 2015. But he's going in below average because, again, just not good. Like there's nothing. He has not made up for his rookie year where Drew Brees absolutely carried him. So yeah, hasn't made up for that. So he's going in below average. Now this guy, the best receiver in the NFL, is going in elite, and that is Devonte Adams. Devonte Adams is probably my favorite receiver in the NFL. I have been a huge fan of him since the whole cut concerns. That's how long I've been a fan of him. I've always liked his game, and I thought, when it was that trio, I don't know if it was a trio, but it was Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Devonte Adams, and I was like, hey, this guy has the potential to be the best receiver on that team. I've always loved his game. I thought he would lead the league in touchdowns this year, and he did. So yeah, Devonte Adams, thank you for making me look at least semi-smart. And yeah, that's the best receiver in the NFL right now. I believe this is MVS, Marquise Valdes-Scantling. I'm going to put him in average just because he led the league in yards per catch, and he had some flashes being a good wide receiver too, so he's going to go in average. This guy, this is a lot of people's favorite wide receivers. Justin Jefferson is already a borderline elite, borderline top 10 receiver. I've seen people even put him in their top 10. I don't know about all that, but I love his game. I thought he really stepped up in the games Adam Thielen wasn't there, and I think he's been absorbing what Adam Thielen has taught him because there's no weakness to his game. He's amazing. He's got great size, great hands, great route running. He can catch any ball and take it the distance. He's definitely a borderline elite top 10, and I think he's going to be in my top 10 list next year because he had the best rookie receiving season in NFL history. But yeah, it's only just a matter of time. Now, the new Titan, Julio Jones, is going in elite because say what you want, I don't care. He's a top 5 receiver, no doubt. And he also is just an NFL legend. Like, he is amazing. And, he's always going to be in my top 5. I mean, he's arguably a top 7 receiver all time, arguably top 5 all time. I mean, it really depends. But yeah, even when injured, he still put up, I believe, 85 plus yards per game. He was still really efficient. And yeah, that's the legend right there. He's still top 5. If you want to say he's the best receiver in the NFL still, I'm not going to be mad at you. So yeah, that's where I'm putting Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley is going also in that borderline elite top 10. And I know there's like a top 10 in the borderline elite top 10. But Calvin Ridley was just amazing. He proved me wrong. I was one of those doubters on Calvin Ridley. I said, if Julio Jones got injured, can he really produce? He proved me wrong. So Calvin Ridley is special, and I'm on the Calvin Ridley hype train going into next year as a wide receiver one. I'm on the hype train. I think he's going to, again, vie for that top 10 receiver spot. Great route runner, can really take the top off the defense. So yeah, that's where Calvin Ridley's going. Robbie Anderson's going to go in great. I love Robbie Anderson as well, especially when he joined the Panthers. For someone so skinny, he just gets open. So, one thing he lacks is consistency, but he will catch the ball, and he's a very good possession receiver. So that's where he's going. DJ Moore, I feel kind of disrespectful putting him in the same tier as Robbie Anderson just because I think he's better. But he is in that, 17 to 20 tier. Like, he's just really, really good. I'm praying for, a breakout season, because he's always been there, but he just hasn't had that season where he's exploded. I think this is the potential year to do that, maybe with Sam Darnold. But yeah, Panthers fans love him. I love him. He's a great receiver. So yeah, we're going to put him in great. Curtis Samuel, I feel like you could put him here, but I'm going to put him in good just because I think he's a step below those guys, which is why he was, playing third fiddle. But let's see how he does in Washington with Terry McLaurin. I think he's so versatile, and I think Washington can use him in so many different ways, jet sweeps, wide receiver screens. So he's going to be really good there, and shout out the former Buckeye. Michael Thomas, I want to put him in elite, and I think I'm going to. So this is going to be that sixth guy I'm going to put in, just because I really don't know what to do with him. Like, I don't know. I think Michael Thomas, when fully healthy, he was regarded as a top 2 receiver in the game. But, obviously injuries kind of definitely, lowered him down a little bit. And in the games he played, he was all right. There were a couple games where he went off, but there was also that game against the Bucks where he just didn't perform prior to his injury. So we're going to put him in elite here. I think he's top 6, but if you put him in your top 5, I wouldn't be mad. So that's where Michael Thomas goes. Emanuel Sanders, we're going to go a little bit faster here. I think Emanuel Sanders is average, had his ups, had his downs, just hasn't been good since. Tyler Boyd's going to go in good. Tyler Boyd's going to go in great, just because I, again, love his game. I think he's really good. He's got the potential to be a wide receiver 1, but he's just never been given the opportunity. So I think he's more of that Measly Beasley type. Will always get you yards, always get you a first down on a third down. So that's where he's going. Mike Evans is going to go not in good. Mike Evans is going to go in this borderline elite, which is like, again, borderline elite top 10 is like wide receivers 7 through 15. So that's where he is. I think he's the 7th. But, honestly, you could say he's a step above all these guys. So you can put him in elite. I feel like he could be the cutoff. Yeah. He's going to be the cutoff just because of how spectacular he's been. 7 1,000-yard seasons. Never missed a beat despite the quarterback change. I know it's Tom Brady, but, Mike Evans deserves to be in that elite category. So he's going to be the cutoff. Mike Evans is the cutoff, which makes me put Chris Godwin in this borderline elite top 10 tier, because Chris Godwin is also really amazing. And I think, he definitely kind of slipped a little bit at times with, the whole new offense and how loaded the Bucs offense is. But hey, when he was needed, he was there. He can catch it. He can take it the distance. Great wide receiver. Antonio Brown is also a really weird one to put, because I can put him in here. I can even put him in here. But I'm going to put him in great just because it's been a while since he's been on the field fully. And I just don't know his role with Tampa Bay yet, like bona fide. So I'm going to put him in great. And I know that feels a little bit disrespectful because he shouted out the pod. So I might just move him here just because. But we'll put him in great. Maybe we'll shift it around at the end. This guy right here is, I don't know if you know him. His name is DeAndre Hopkins. He's the 2nd best receiver in all of football, in my opinion. So he's going in elite. He didn't miss a step with Arizona, and I'm sure Houston is regretting that trade right now. So not much to say. He's got the best hands in football. He's definitely top 2. Larry Fitzgerald. I feel so disrespectful doing this, but I'm never going to put him in here. I'm just going to put him in good, leave him at that, because, again, Larry legend. I don't really know what to say, because as of right now, he's just not, great. But, hey, he's a good mentor, so I'm going to put him in good. Cooper Kupp is going in great. I know. Those who watch the pod know how much I love Cooper Kupp. He's one of my favorite receivers in the NFL, period. But I love Cooper Kupp's game. I love his character on and off the field. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. But even then, I think he's a great receiver. He had one of the best receivers in receiving seasons in 2019. Even in 2020, kind of missed a beat, but I think he's a top 17 kind of receiver, just outside this borderline elite tier, but I'm going to put him there. Robert Woods, same thing. They're both great. I think Robert Woods is a little bit more versatile. He's more quick. That's why he can be used more in jet sweeps and receiver screens. But that's where I'm going to put him. He's at a couple 1,000-yard seasons as well. Tyler Lockett's also going to go in great, just because Tyler Lockett, again, similar thing. He just got a 17 mil per year extension, which I think is a little bit overpaid, but Seahawks fans will dog you on that. So don't tell a Seahawks fan that they overpaid for Tyler Lockett, because they're like, nope, he knows his role. He can get you 200 yards when he needs to. We've seen him do it. And he can catch any ball along the sideline. One of the best toe draggers I've ever seen. So he's going to go in great. DK Metcalf is going to not go in here. He's going to go in borderline elite top 10. He's my 11th best receiver. And I know people are going to, dog on each other for saying, oh, DK's, borderline top 5. Oh, DK's insanely overrated. I honestly, it's honestly a little bit too early to tell, because he could be really, really good, coming along. And I think he will be, but, there's some problems with his, with his hands. And also in that wild card game, he was kind of calling for the ball, kind of messed up the whole offensive flow against the Rams. So I'm going to put him at borderline elite top 10. He's my 11th best receiver because, again, his talent is just insane. Deebo Samuel, oh man, because when healthy, he's great. So yeah, you guys can be mad at me, but hey, that's the guy I went on Instagram Live with. That's the guy I'm really chill with. And you know what? I think when healthy, that 2019 season towards the end and even in the playoffs, he was spectacular. So I'm going to put him in great. I think he's got the potential to be a top 15 wide receiver. He's got the potential to be a wide receiver 1. Let's see how he does with Trey Lance. So versatile. So yeah, I'm going to put him in great. AJ Green, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I might have to put him in below. I can't do that to a legend, so I'm going to put him in average because he just hasn't been good in a while. He didn't even get the opportunities with Joe Burrow, but did you know, I think he still had 600 yards, and I didn't even see him all year. So he just hasn't been doing anything, but maybe he has a resurgence with Arizona. I don't know, but he's going in average. Brandon Ayuk, too early to tell because, again, similar thing. So this is very similar to CeeDee Lamb because he could be great. He could be borderline elite. We just don't know. So this is kind of the year for him to kind of prove it. But again, showed mad flashes in that rookie season. T. Higgins, same thing. Too early to tell. He's not, in that tier of Justin Jefferson. Even Jerry Judy's kind of established himself. But yeah, with T. Higgins, I love his game. As much as I hate him for what he did to Ohio State in that semifinal, he is incredible. If I were to put him like right now, I would put him in good with Jerry Judy. But I honestly think he's like a top 3 receiver in this class. They're just so, this 2020 draft class is just so vast and, talented that I really just don't know what to do with all these guys. So he's going to go in too early to tell. Odell Beckham, as a Browns fan, it's just so tough where to put him. I'm going to put him in great. Because, yeah, I feel like I'm, No, I can't do. I'm going to put him in this borderline elite top 10, I think. I think he's like just outside the top 15. Because I think Measly Beasley and DJ Moore are kind of what I'm holding my standard to. And I think Odell Beckham is better than those guys. So he's going to go here, kind of like along this line. I'll probably like readjust the order and everything. But yeah, that's where I'm going to put him. He's so talented. I mean, we saw flashes against Dallas and the ACL really just sucks, but praying for him. And a lot of Browns fans want to keep him. I personally don't know, just because of Baker's development. And that's not me hating on him. It's just me being uncertain. I want the best for Baker, and I also want the best for him. And I just don't know if Cleveland's the right fit. But again, for his talent, one of the best receivers, one of the most talented receivers ever. So I got to put him in that borderline elite top 10. Jarvis Landry is going to go in great. 5 straight Pro Bowls. He had the record for most receptions, I think, for his first 5 years. And he is probably my second favorite player in the NFL. And I think he was a huge part of the culture change in Cleveland. So yeah, he's going great. Love that guy. Juju Smith-Schuster, as much as I want to put him in trash, he's in great. He's not here yet. I think he's like right here, that type of thing, because again, he's so talented. He's had his flashes, but he just hasn't lived up to that number 1 receiver role. So I'm going to put him in great just because of how talented he is. Jamison Crowder is our last receiver here. I'm going to put him in good because, again, showing his flashes, great in the slot, needs to be more healthy. He's been injured a lot, and I just don't really know what else to put him in. I can't put him in great with all these receivers. I feel like these guys have established something, and Jameson Crowder really hasn't established himself. So yeah, that is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Any players that I had too high, any players that I had too low. I'm sure there's some bias in there, but yeah, this has been Anish. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.